Special thanks to Patreon supporter Assassin's Creed for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, C-130J here and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. This tutorial here is going to be a conversion tutorial. What this means is you'll need to go ahead and watch the C-130H tutorial I released not too long ago on my channel, and you can find the link for that video in the description, or you can go ahead and scroll from my recent videos, or if you're watching this in the far future, you can go ahead and very simply just search for the C-130H on my channel. What this means is we're going to be going ahead and taking the C-130H and using that design from that tutorial and turning it into the C-130J. Helps cut back on some tutorial time, and overall we're basically building the same aircraft with a few modifications to it. One thing I would recommend doing for this aircraft in particular to save yourself a bit of time is to go ahead and build it with using our blocks you can see in front of us. Dark oak with trapdoors instead of iron trapdoors. You can see we have polished blackstone walls, stairs, and slabs instead of stone and andesite. And you can also see that we have a gray concrete for the main base color, as well as the dark, or the standard gray stained glass compared to the light gray. So I would recommend doing that, as that will definitely help in terms of making this build a little bit easier to transfer over. But again, we will talk about changing the color of the build over if you just have the C-130H in the stone color. Anyways, that's all I want to do to basically cover before we go and move into the tutorial. And with that, let's go ahead and move into it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, C-130J here, and welcome back to another Minecraft modern aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going ahead and build the Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules. The Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules is a 4-engine turboprop military transport aircraft. The C-130J is a comprehensive update of the Lockheed C-130 Hercules with new engines, flight deck, and other systems. As of February 2018, 400 C-130J aircraft have been delivered to 17 nations. The C-130J is the newest version of the C-130 Hercules and the only model still in production. The Super Hercules here, what kind of makes it stand out is the 6-bladed turboprop engines, which was a upgrade compared to the C-130. The C-130s before, which had 4 engines, and just a all-around kind of just upgrades and stuff like that, new electronics, all that stuff. They now actually don't have flight engineers on board these anymore, so it's just 2 pilots and a loadmaster. So cutting down on crew, requirements, and just overall making the aircraft, a lot more modernized and up to today's kind of standards for the military. But yeah, really nice looking aircraft here. We have it in the Air Force color scheme here, so this kind of darker gray color, which is very common for a lot of the newer aircraft that have been coming into service with the U.S. Air Force. But yeah, really nice looking aircraft here, and going to be an awesome conversion tutorial from our C-130H model. So it'd be nice to turn this over into a C-130J. So going ahead and before we move into it, I want to go and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Assassin's Creed for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel where you guys already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a video request of your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel, and is very greatly appreciated. So again, you can find that down in the video descriptions. Anyways, let's go and kind of move in here to take a look at the vehicle and see exactly what we're going to be building. So to go ahead and get started with here, we have obviously the nose of the aircraft. So pretty standard, no real big changes here compared to previous C-130 models. Still has the hatch on the top here. It does have the addition of these little strips on the side here. I've noticed a lot of aircraft actually have these, especially the newer ones. I'm not 100% sure what they do. But yeah, kind of interesting. They're like strips of like composite or fiberglass. So they're very interesting, to say the very least. We have the door here. As you can see, the engines are the 6-bladed engines, which I think came out actually pretty good for what we were trying to do there for them. So you have the 6 engines on both sides. The fuel tanks here in the center, in between the engines, still a very common feature for the C-130Js. And as we work our way back further, we have the whole rear of the fuselage here, pretty much the same design, nothing real too crazy changed. And we get to the tail here, again, pretty much the same standard tail design there, and nothing real too crazy about that. But yeah, that's pretty much the aircraft as a whole. Really straightforward, and should be a pretty easy conversion tutorial for us. We don't have too much to add on to it compared to the HC, or the HC-130. the Coast Guard version over there. So should be a pretty quick conversion tutorial and all that. Anyways, let's go and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first changes. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into modifying our C-130H into the C-130J. Now, obviously, you could take this aircraft here and you could just change the props and consider it a J. However, really, that's not the main changes here. Especially if you're building the Air Force versions here, we are using a darker gray color scheme. And, you know, speaking from experience and being around C-130s and stuff like that, this is the color that you're going to see them in now. Especially some of the later model aircraft, at least in the Air Force, are also being converted over to this new color. So just want to throw that out there again. This is the reason why we're going to be changing the color to this darker gray color. Now, first thing we want to do here for this is the C-130J does not actually have these cables here. So we want to go ahead and very simply just go ahead and go to basically where these cables are located and go ahead and completely delete them. So this is going to be deleted on both sides here, and in doing so, we're going to go ahead and get rid of these cables entirely from the aircraft. And we'll go all the way up here and connect up, and we'll also delete this row going down the opposite side. So pretty simple stuff, nothing too complicated as of yet. After we have that all done, we then want to go ahead and go to the side here. We're going to go and delete the U.S. Air Force written on the side of the aircraft with banners. So we are not going to have that. And same thing over here as well. So just like that. Now once we get to this point here, we're going to go and start working on kind of highlighting some of our doors. Now our first door here, you can see we have the polished andesite from the previous tutorial. We're going to go ahead and replace the polished andesite full blocks with gray wool. And then our stairs here, we're just going to have to use some polished blackstone stairs. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good, you know, kind of slightly contrasting block. So I found that just using the polished blackstone stairs row here is probably going to be our best bet. We're going to go ahead and then replace this stone block here with a black concrete block. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a polished blackstone button coming off the side of it like so. Now after that's done, we then want to go ahead and go to the air side over here. And we're going to go ahead and delete these two polished blackstone stairs. We can just go ahead and get rid of those just for consistency's sake. And we shouldn't have a door over here on this side, so I'm not sure why this one's here. But we'll just have our solid blocks like this. We're going to count back 1, 2, and our fourth stone block back. We're going to go ahead and place the black concrete block in right here. And we're going to have the polished blackstone button on it like that on both sides there. So that would be positioned relative to each other on both sides. After that, these two stairs here, polished blackstone, are going to be turned into stone for the time being. We then want to go ahead and go back to this section. This block right here is going to be turned into a stone stair. And we want to go ahead and shift our windows here. So our windows are going to be moved back. So this black stained glass block, we're going to delete it. Move our window back one. Stone block here. And then a black stained glass block here. And then we're going to skip space with this block here. And then this right here, this window is going to be filled in with stone. So just like that. And again, I'm just using stone right now just because it's easier just to kind of see with the whole aircraft in total, like what is actually going to, you know, be changed and all that stuff later on. So that's why I'm using stone in this situation right here. Hopefully it isn't anything too confusing. But yeah, these blocks here, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the polished andesite and replace it for stone for the time being around this window. And we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves our dark oak wood buttons. And use our dark oak wood buttons, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and then 1, 2, 3 across the top there. And then our forward section here, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons like this. Button right here, then a button on both sides on the bottom here, just like that. And again, the blocks will be changed out a little bit later once we get to it, but we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. So these windows, we're going to go and move back. So just like we done the air side here, we'll replace all of our stairs with stone, get rid of the polished andesite and this section here, and same thing here on the bottom. Like so. Stone block there. And we can also replace any of the coal ore that we have here with stone full blocks as well. So those can be swapped out as well. So just like that on both sides, so we clean that up. And then we also want to go and take our buttons, and just like we did on the air side here, dark oak buttons, kind of forming a rectangle around this window here for an emergency exit. Now, after we get to this point here, we then want to go and go to our line that we have for the kind of the marker for the props, or the turbo props. And what we want to do here is we're going to go and grab ourselves some nether brick stairs. We're going to go and replace this block, or this stair up here, with a stone one. And then this polished black stone stair is going to be swapped out for a nether brick stair. And same thing with this stair here, nether brick stair. And then this corner stair right here, a nether brick corner stair, just like that going down as well. Now, once we get to this point, we'll then go ahead and move up to this section here. Now for this section here, for the little pop-up, a little hatch up on top here, and the kind of the area in front of it, we're going to replace this polished black stone wall with a stone slab. And then this section here, we're going to go and change our polished andesite out for black concrete, nether brick stairs, and then a nether brick slab right here. And in the center, we're going to place down a gray shulker box with a polished black stone button on top of the gray shulker box, like so. We then also want to go ahead and grab ourselves some wither skeleton skulls. And we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull in the corners here, between the stairs and slabs like this, at about 45-degree angles, just like that. After we have that done, we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves some item frames. And we're going to need some dark oak wood signs and some stairs. For this, we're going to be going ahead and taking our item frames, and we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 in this section. And we're going to change those item frames to white, or we're going to put white beds in those item frames. And if you are on Java Edition, we're going to go ahead and place dark oak wood signs over those item frames. So it should look like this here on the side. And we're going to go ahead and go over to this side, and we're going to do the same thing. So our 4 item frames, our white beds in the item frames, rotate on their side, and our dark oak wood signs going across the front of these stairs, like so. With that all done, we then want to go ahead and go to the front here. We're going to delete these end rods off the front nose of the aircraft. We are going to leave the ones here to the sides. The front banners on the front here can also be changed for gray. So you'll basically do the same thing as the C-130H tutorial, but we're just going to go ahead and do these with a darker gray banner background. So just like that on both sides there. And after we have that all complete, moving to the top, we're going to go ahead and delete this end rod up here. And we're going to go ahead and extend this stone brick wall back one, and then an iron trapdoor on top of that second stone brick wall, like so. After we have that done, we're also going to go ahead and take stone buttons. And we want to go ahead and place down a row of 1, 2, and then 1 stone button going forward from the stone brick wall. So kind of hard to see here, but we have 2 stone buttons, skip a space, and a stone button after the stone brick wall. Once that's done, going ahead and moving to the rear here, we want to go ahead and place down a stone brick wall in this section here. So we're going to go ahead and delete this end rod, place down an iron trapdoor, and then delete this lever like so. And we want to go ahead and then very simply just place down a stone brick wall, deleting this third iron trapdoor there, and with the stone brick wall in its place like that. And once we have that all done, that right there is going to finish off the back here. Now, after we get to this point here, we have our next door. So we're going to go ahead and grab our gray concrete, polished black stone stairs, and our levers again. So for this door here, we're going to place our 2 gray concrete blocks. We have our nether brick stair here, polished black stone stair, 2 gray concrete blocks like so, a lever, and then our 2 polished black stone stairs, just like that. And after we have that complete, we're going to go ahead and go over to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing for this door. So 2 polished black stone upside down stairs, 2 gray wool blocks, lever, polished black stone upside down stair, nether brick upside down stair, and 2 gray wool blocks, just like that on top there. And once we get to that point there, we're going to go ahead and take our dark oak wood buttons, and in the block spaces we can next to these, so dark oak wood button here, here, and here. And same thing over here, dark oak wood button, dark oak wood button, and dark oak wood button. We then want to take these banners here, so the National Star insignia, and we're going to go ahead and swap those out for darker gray ones. So again, they're pretty much the same thing as we did in the C-130H tutorial, except these are going to be decked out in a darker gray color. And we very simply just want to go ahead and go to this section here, and we're going to go ahead and go above the second, or the third stair here, and we're going to start the stripe. So it's going to be this row of stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and our 7th stair here, we're going to have the striped banner, followed by the black banner, like this, second black banner, and then the striped banner, just like that, to go and put the National Star insignia there on the side of the aircraft. From that point there, we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves our item frames again, and we have our next little kind of fiberglass little strip here on the side of the aircraft. So for that in particular, we're going to be going ahead and going underneath here. We're going to go to the stair directly underneath this banner, place down a row of 4 of item frames. We're going to place down white beds in the item frames, rotate on their sides, and our dark liquid signs. So again, just like we did before. And we'll go over to the air side and we'll do the same exact thing. So over here on the air side, we're going to go to the stair here and have our banners. And then going to delete this old National Star insignia, and then we're going to place down our item frames along the side, white beds, and our dark liquid signs. Like that. And after we have that done there, we then want to go ahead and take our black stained glass, and we do have some windows we are going to be adding on to the side of the fuselage here. So our first window here is going to be right where this glass pane is. So up here in the forward section, we're going to go right next to this glass pane. We're going to replace this stone block with a black stained glass block. We're then going to go ahead and go back here to this wall. We're going to place down a black stained glass block there, and then one right here where this stone block is as well. And we're going to go do the same thing over here on this side. So we have our window here, and then another window that's going to be located up here. So just like that along the sides there, the aircraft there for a little bit of extra windows added onto the aircraft. Now, once we get to this point, we are going to be going ahead and changing up the tail a little bit. So I'm going to go and grab the materials we'll need, and we'll go ahead and dive into that. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our vertical stabilizer. Vertical stabilizer here, we are going to change some things, mainly being the yellow tail flash we had in the standard C-130 tutorial. We're going to go ahead and change this out. The newer C-130Js kind of have newer and different tail flashes. So for this, we're going to go ahead and do kind of a cool pattern. We're going to place down some yellow glazed terracotta, and then we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 black concrete blocks back. We're going to go ahead and place down another brick wall here on the end, replacing that wall like so. And we're going to avoid red. We're going to go ahead and do a nice nether brick wall there on the end. So it looks like that for the tail flash there, kind of has a bit more of an interesting pattern. We're going to go ahead and take polished blackstone buttons, wrap around the glazed terracotta. Again, you can do whatever tail flash you guys really want for it, but this one here is just a little bit more fancy. We're going to place some stone buttons there on the side, kind of have some spacing there, and all that, and that basically will be our base identifier for this aircraft. We could go ahead and also replace the AMC for some gray banners, and if you remember correctly, that's the Air Mobility Command, which is basically the kind of cargo transportation MAGCOM of the Air Force. And then underneath here, instead of having a 6-digit aircraft code, we're going to go ahead and change this over to a 3-digit. So we're going to do 1110 with our gray banners, black writing, and we're going to place our 2 buttons right there, which would be the basically most of the time the way the tail codes work is the year it was manufactured. So it would be something just like this here for the tail of the aircraft. And we're going to go ahead and grab a few more materials that I'm going to talk about a little bit further of modifying the tail. Alright guys, and going ahead and continuing on to the tail here, we want to go and then take our item frames. We're going to place down 3 item frames. They're going to be, actually sorry my bad, item frames starting next to this TNT block, and it's just going to go up with a total of 3. We're going to place down beds in those item frames and dark liquid signs over the sides of them. Again, if you have access to, or if you are on Java. And same thing over here on this side as well. So just like this. And we're just going to go and take this up like so. And that right there will basically do that section. And we then want to go ahead and go down to this area here. We're going to go ahead and replace this stair with a nether brick stair. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a row 3 of black concrete blocks back from that. We're going to go ahead and go up to our next row, nether brick wall, 2 black concrete blocks, and then going up one more time, we're going to replace this stone block with a black concrete block like that. And once we have that all complete there, that is going to basically wrap up the tail section there. And the last thing we're going to go and cover, really or the last few things we're going to cover for the tail is just going to be the landing ramp and the props. So let's go and move into the landing ramp real quick. Alright guys, so the landing ramp here, pretty simple stuff. We're just going to be going ahead and swapping out our polished andesite full blocks here for the gray wool that we've been doing. And then our polished blackstone slabs are going to replace the polished andesite slabs. So basically just doing the same thing here we're doing for the doors, but we're just going to go and do it for the back section here of the aircraft as well. So I'm going to go and do the rest of this real quick, and I'll see you guys here back in a sec once I have this all completed. Alright guys, and the last thing we have to do here to convert this aircraft over is to go ahead and now do the props. Props here are pretty simple to do for the most part. It does involve using a debug stick, some nether brick walls, nether brick slabs, and some dark oak with trapdoors. For these props here, we're going to go and delete our original props on the C-130J, and instead we'll be going ahead and starting by placing down 1, 2, and 3 nether brick walls up, and then 3 nether brick walls down. Now we then want to go ahead and take our debug stick here, and using this we can go ahead and change the direction it faces. So we're going to go ahead and change this so that it faces toward the east here. And actually, sorry, it's going to be the west. So we're going to go ahead and select it, and we're going to go ahead and select so it's to west tall. And we want it like that, so it kind of extends a little bit to the side there. Then down here on the bottom, we're going to extend it toward the east. And we're going to do east tall, and you can see here that it kind of extends those to the side like so. From this point here, we're going to go ahead and place down a nether brick slab that is going to be coming off this wall here. We're going to go up from the slab with a top slab, and then we want to place down 2 dark oak with trapdoors like this. So one coming off the slab and then one on top there, like so. And over here, same thing, nether brick slab, top slab, and nether brick slab, followed by the top slab, and then dark oak wood trapdoor, and a trapdoor on top of it, and then going down top slab here, followed by a slab, and then our 2 dark oak wood trapdoors. So 1 and 2, and over here same thing, nether brick slab, top slab, and our 2 dark oak wood trapdoors. And that right there is going to basically make those props there. Pretty straightforward. Just your 6-blade props. You're going to go and do this for each one of your propellers. Anyways, once you have that done, what's really all that's left for this aircraft now is we cover all the kind of changes and stuff like that really needs to be done. And at this point here, what really is all that's left is actually going ahead and recoloring the aircraft. And basically what this is going to entail is every iron trapdoor is going to be replaced with dark oak wood trapdoors. Any of the stone brick blocks are going to be replaced with the blackstone stone bricks. And then any of the stone blocks, gray concrete, any of the stairs slabs are going to be the polished blackstone stairs and slabs. The andesite walls are going to be polished blackstone walls, and the stained glass panes are going to be gray stained glass panes, and the skeleton skulls are going to be wither skeleton skulls. So basically all that's left for you guys now to do is to go ahead and recolor the aircraft using the colors that I just mentioned and the replacements. And once you have that all complete, you'll have your aircraft that looks like that. I'm going to go ahead and do it for this aircraft, and we'll come back here in a little bit and we'll take a look at what the final version looks like. And as you can see, I went ahead and recolored the entire aircraft. This right here is what the aircraft will look like once you have all the blocks replaced and the polished blackstone swapped out. Also in the back here, we have the gray carpets on top of those polished blackstone top slabs, just to kind of keep it a little bit more of a consistent gray color for the top section, at least for the leading edge. So we did change those out there. And also when it comes to the back section here, we have our gray carpet that goes all the way across. And you can see here the black concrete that we have for the propeller washes and all that stuff located down here is all going to maintain that gray, that black color, as that's basically what we want to keep. We're going to swap those out on the bottom there. So yeah, that right there is pretty much it for the main body. You can see here with the landing gear also equipped onto the aircraft, you can see we just basically did the same thing as the standard C-130J tutorial, just replacing the block choices and stuff like that with what I listed before. And on the back here, you see pretty much the same thing, and we have our gray banners going across the backs of the stairs like that. So overall, pretty straightforward stuff. I don't think it's anything too complex or anything like that. Should be a pretty easy modification for you guys to add. All you're doing is just replacing blocks with a new different color. One thing I am going to cover now that we have the actual aircraft on itself is I'm going to cover the landing ramp. So those of you that do want to include the landing ramp, I will cover real quick how to go ahead and modify that from the C-130J version. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into lane ramp, I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and modify this real quick. Pretty straightforward stuff here, very similar to how we did the HC-130. We're going to be going ahead and going to the bottom here. We're going to go ahead and replace this row of 5 of upside down stairs, right here of polished blackstone upside down stairs. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 polished blackstone top slabs. Then a row of 5 of dark oak trapdoors, row of 5 of polished blackstone stairs, and then a row of 5 of polished blackstone top slabs like this on the bottom here. We can go ahead and then replace our blocks here on the bottom for the landed version, and we should get something that looks just like this here. We're going to leave the polished andesite on the top here for the ramp. However, we do want to replace the skeleton skulls here for wither skeleton skulls to the sides there of the ramp. Now this top section here, we're going to replace our full blocks with gray wool. So our full blocks here will be turned into gray wool, and then our full blocks here along the sides here will be gray wool blocks as well. So just like that. And we're going to then place down polished blackstone top slabs in the corners here. Then multiple rows of 3 polished blackstone top slabs, just replacing the polished andesite ones, and same thing up on top here like this. So just like that. And that right there will basically complete the door here over the back section like that. Anyways, that right there is pretty much it for the loading ramp, and with that, that is going to wrap up my tutorial here for the conversion of the C-130H to the C-130J Super Hercules. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put this build to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be the link from a on the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free as for projects you guys are working on. Overall, have fun with the build and all that fun stuff. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 204, and I'll see you guys next time.